Hey guys, welcome back. I have a really cool story. I was just kind of going around through inside YouTube looking at some different things through my channel. And you guys have seen I've done this gentleman right here. This is his YouTube channel. He's a Christian prophet. In the past, we've shared some of his videos. Somehow he found out, he reached out to me. I don't have his contact information yet, but he reached out to me and said, "Hey, he had an amazing video that he recently created back on. It wasn't recently, but this video was from July 8th of 2020. And he just directly sent this to me. He goes, "Hey, this video might be of interest to you." So he's directly sent this to me. I have called him, or not called him, but I shared my contact information with him. I'm going to try to invite him into our channel to do a live video. So again, this video is from July 8th of 2020. This is his YouTube channel. I've got the video that he sent, which is this video right here. I'm going to share it with you guys. Here we go. Check this video out.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let's talk about the prophetic word again today. This prophetic word is going to talk about the blessing of the 5,000. The blessing of the 5,000. Your homework today, though, I'm just going to hit bits and pieces of this story, the feeding of the 5,000. But your homework is to read John chapter 6, verse 1 to 14. John chapter 6, verse 1 to 14. The Lord wants me to tell you that those listening, there's some listening, not everybody, and I hope this happens for everybody. I really, really do. That everybody here listening to this video experiences the blessing of the 5,000. The blessing of the 5,000. As you know, the story as Jesus fed the 5,000 with this 2 loaves, 2 fish, these 5 loaves and 2 fish in the story. Well, there was a dynamic there in this story. There was a crowd of people, and then there was the disciples. There was also the little boy that provided the 2 fish. But the 2 characters in the story is the 5,000 that were seated and the disciples. Many listening to this video represent one or the other. Jesus is about to bless you because you are the 5,000. And those who represent the 5,000 are those who follow Jesus and obey him in a particular situation. The 5,000 followed Jesus, and Jesus knew that they needed to be fed. So he asked Philip, how are we going to buy enough bread to feed them? Testing Philip, as you'll read, because he already knew what he was going to do. He wasn't asking Philip to take care of it. He wasn't even asking Andrew to take care of it. He was going to bless these people and feed them. And so we see one person listening to this video that could very well be the 5 that represents the 5,000. That you're following Jesus, as the story says, and then you sit down. The disciples make the 5,000 or the people sit down. And the only people that actually sat down were 5,000. There were women and children too, but there were 5,000 men that actually sat down. Because we see in the story, in verse 11, Jesus then took the loaves, and having given thanks, he distributed to those who were seated. To those who were seated. So the ones following also sat down. And there's some people that are trying to figure out something in a particular situation, and God is saying, I want to do this for you. I need you to be seated while God does it for you. And as a result, he says, likewise also the fish, as much as they wanted. So when you are listening to God to sit and wait for him to do it, he's going to cause you to experience a filling, so much that you have a leftover. Look at verse 12. And when they were filled, he said to the disciples, gather up the leftover fragments so that nothing will be lost. So there's going to be a blessing to the 5,000, and then there's going to be a blessing to the disciple. There's going to be someone that's trying to figure something out, and God is saying, don't do it, sit. Make the people sit. You sit, and make the people sit, because the Bible says Jesus then took the loaves, and having given thanks, he distributed those who were seated to those who were seated. So it's important for you to sit. And then there's a disciple in this scenario that's listening to this video that's going to reap as a result of the 5,000 blessing. that someone's going to come along in your life and you're going to get a leftover from the blessing that they received as being the 5,000. Look at verse 12 again. When they were filled, he said to the disciples, gather up the leftover fragments so that nothing will be lost. So there is a when they were filled moment, then there was a gathering by a second group or a second person. So those who are receiving the 5,000 blessing will have disciples types near your life that will gather up the fragments. And that's why they're there, to receive what's left over. Because you're going to be so full, you're not going to have room for anything else. So the fragments are going to be acceptable to be given and actually left for someone else. So they gathered them up in verse 13 and filled 12 baskets with fragments from the 5 barley loaves which were left over by those who had eaten. Double blessing. 2 different blessings coming very soon. God bless you. Have a great day.
So there you guys go. That gentleman, somehow he had found out that I was sharing his, his amazing videos and stuff on our channel. He was very thankful for that. So he reached out to me and said, hey, that's a video he selected out of his library. And he specifically shared, now he talked about feeding 5,000 or providing for 5,000. If you guys go look at our YouTube channel, we're just shy. We're right on the cusp or edge of having 5,000 followers on the YouTube channel, guys. Is this prophetic? I don't know. It's very unique. Nonetheless, it's a very unique story and whatnot, and how this gentleman reached out and shared this exact prophetic word from his library directly with us. So anyway, there you guys go. But again, I've reached out to him. I've shared my contact information, and I want to invite him in. I would love to do a live video with him and see if he's willing to, or see if he maybe receives any prophetic information for us. That would be amazing. I'd love to have him, receive something prophetic and share it with us that, would bless us. So anyway, guys, there you go. God bless you guys and have a great day. Take care.